Override denied. The human just caught Instructor Zyl'ax's monomolecular blade with her bare hand, and every combat AI in the facility is screaming contamination warnings. Biological hazard detected. Do not engage. Evacuate immediate perimeter. Kyeldra's secondary hearts stopped, all three of them. From the observation deck overlooking Training Arena 73, she watched her most decorated combat instructor frozen mid-strike, his ceremonial blade, the one that had cleaved through Korvathi battlecruiser hulls during the Rim Wars, pressed firmly against the palm of the human trainee, the blade that could slice a droplet of water in half. The blade whose molecular edge existed in a state of perpetual quantum flux specifically designed to cut through anything, the human's palm, her completely, impossibly physically unharmed palm. Olivia Smith said, squinting at the weapon touching her hand. Was I supposed to let that hit me? Because the safety brief was like 3 hours long, and I might have zoned out during the getting stabbed part. According to YouTube analytics, 98% of viewers are not subscribed. That's a huge number. By subscribing the channel that is completely free, 42 alien cadets stood paralyzed in their formation positions. Several had dropped their own training weapons. One Thessian recruit had gone entirely translucent, a fear response Kyldra had only read about in historical texts. Zyl'ax's translator implant sputtered static before his voice emerged, thin and breaking. That is, a monomolecular blade. It has a certification rating of absolute severance. It cuts through starship hulls. Oh. Olivia glanced at her palm, then at the shimmering edge still pressed against her skin. Huh. Well, it's not cutting through me, so maybe you need to get it sharpened. My dad's got this knife at home that... Negative damage assessment, the facility AI announced across all channels. Human tissue integrity, 100%. Blade structural. Integrity, 100%. Physical interaction, impossible. Recommend immediate. Kyldra slammed the emergency communication override. Zyl'ax, pull back, now. The instructor didn't move, couldn't move. 3 centuries of combat experience, 273 confirmed kills, veteran of 18 major conflicts, and he stood paralyzed by a concept his training had never prepared him for, his weapon failing at its most fundamental purpose. Instructor Zyl'ax, Kyldra's voice sharpened, command authority cutting through. Disengage from the human. Olivia rolled her eyes. Oh my God, the human. I have a name. It's on my ID badge and everything. She looked down at the blade still touching her palm. Are you gonna move that, or... Zyl'ax jerked backward like he'd been electrocuted, the blade snapping away. The training arena's emergency lighting kicked on, crimson warning strobes that painted everything in shades of disaster. Hazard klaxons that should have triggered 30 seconds ago finally caught up with reality and began wailing. All cadets, exit through emergency protocols, Kyldra ordered. Training session terminated. Decontamination procedures in effect. Decontamination? Olivia looked around at the scrambling aliens. It's a sword, not like a biological weapon or, oh shit, is it a biological weapon? Did I just grab a space plague sword with my bare hand? The weapon is sterile, Zyl'ax said, his voice distant. He was staring at his blade like it had personally betrayed him. The contamination warning is you, your presence, your... He looked at Olivia's hand again. Your continued existence. Wow, rude. Kyldra was already running diagnostics on every scanner in the facility. The results populated across her command tablet in real time, and each one made less sense than the last. Blade composition, nominal. Edge integrity, perfect. Quantum flux alignment, optimal. The weapon was functioning exactly as designed. The human tissue scan was equally unhelpful. Standard carbon-based cellular structure, normal human dermal layers, no shielding, no energy fields, no subdermal armor, no genetic modifications, just, skin. Regular skin that should have parted like atmosphere before the blade's edge. Trainee Smith, Kyldra said carefully, please remain still. Do not touch anything else. I'm literally just standing here. Yes, continue that, doing nothing. This is the weirdest training day. Below, Zyl'ax was examining his blade with instruments from his equipment harness. Molecular microscope, quantum alignment scanner, edge degradation detector. Each instrument confirmed the same thing: the weapon was flawless. "Commander," he said finally, his translator barely above a whisper, "this blade has been in my family for 4 generations. It was forged in the crucible of Catharn. It has never failed. It cannot fail. The physical principles that allow it to function are fundamental to this universe." "I'm getting that vibe, yeah," Olivia said. "Look, I'm sorry I broke your sword by existing. Is there like a form I need to fill out, or—" "You didn't break it." Zyl'ax looked up, and Kyeldra saw something she'd never seen in her instructor's eyes before: fear. "It's working perfectly. That's the problem." The last cadet stumbled out of the emergency exit. The training arena fell silent except for the hazard klaxons and the increasingly frantic warnings from the facility AI. Anomalous interaction detected. Physics reconciliation failure. Updating threat database. Classification unknown. Recommendation: maintain distance. Do not engage. Olivia sighed. "Okay, seriously, can someone explain what's happening? Because I literally just blocked a sword. My fencing instructor in college would have given me a gold star for that." Kyeldra felt her career flashing before her eyes. She'd accepted Earth's first military trainee as a diplomatic gesture, a symbolic alliance. Humans were supposed to be peaceful, administrative, soft compared to the warrior races of the galaxy. The human had been here for 6 hours. 6 hours, and the entire facility's weapon certification protocols were now in question. "Your fencing instructor," Zyl'ax said slowly, "taught you to block monomolecular blades with your bare hands." "Well, no, obviously. We used foils, but same principle, right? Watch the shoulder, not the blade. Move into the attack zone, redirect the force vector," Olivia demonstrated with her hands. "See? Basic stuff." "That," Zyl'ax said, "is not basic. It's literally introduction to fencing, like week 2 material." Kyeldra's command tablet chimed. Priority alert. She glanced down and felt her primary heart skip. Emergency authorization. Request: Weapons Master Zyl'ax en route. ETA: 40 minutes. Clear all training operations. Prepare full diagnostic facility. Weapons Master Zyl'ax, the Galactic Military's chief weapons analyst, the being who designed half the arsenal currently in use across 800 star systems. He was coming here because a human blocked a sword. "Trainee Smith," Kyeldra said, "please proceed to Medical Bay 7 for examination." "Am I in trouble?" "No, we are." Medical Bay 7 had never been designed for this level of chaos. 3 different species of doctors surrounded Olivia, their scanners humming, beeping, and in one case, literally smoking. The Vexian physician pulled back his dermal analysis probe and stared at it like it had personally insulted his ancestors. "Epidermal layer, normal," he muttered. "Dermal layer, normal. Subcutaneous tissue, normal. Bone density, standard human baseline. No shielding, no energy matrix, no augmentation, no sense." "So I'm healthy?" Olivia asked from the exam table. "Because I feel fine. Better than fine, actually. Your gravity here is kind of nice. Easier on my knees." Kyeldra stood against the wall, watching her command tablet scroll through test results that all said the same impossible thing. The human was completely, utterly, biologically normal, which meant either their medical technology was catastrophically broken or— "The blade!" Zyl'ax burst through the door, his translator crackling with urgency. "I need to test again, under controlled conditions, with proper measurement equipment." "Instructor, I don't think—" "Please!" Zyl'ax's 4 eyes met Kyeldra's 2. 300 years. "I've trained warriors from 16 species. I've certified weapons for the entire galactic military. If I don't understand what happened, my entire career is meaningless. Olivia hopped off the exam table. I'm down. Honestly, sitting here while you guys stare at me is weirder than the sword thing. This is highly irregular, the Vexian doctor protested. This entire situation is highly irregular, Kyldra said. She pulled up the facility's main training hall on her tablet. Arena 1, full sensor array. I want every instrument we have recording this. 10 minutes later, Olivia stood in the center of a circle marked on the pristine white floor of Arena 1. 17 different types of sensors pointed at her from every angle. Zyl'ax approached slowly, his blade held in a formal striking position. I will strike 3 times, he announced, increasing force with each attempt. Please attempt to block as you did before. Sure thing. Olivia raised her hands into a guard position. Just, go for it. Zyl'ax struck. Olivia's hand snapped up, caught the blade against her palm, and redirected it past her shoulder. The impact sensors registered 0 damage to human tissue. Okay, Zyl'ax said, breathing hard. Again, 60% power. The second strike came faster, harder. The blade hummed with energy as it cut through the air. Olivia blocked it with her other hand, this time adding a slight twist that sent the blade skating away. Sorry, was that the right technique? She asked. I wasn't sure if you wanted me to parry or just block. Zyl'ax wasn't listening. He was staring at the data streaming across the arena's display screens. Full power, he whispered. Instructor, perhaps we should... Kyldra started. The blade screamed down in an arc that would have bisected a battle tank. Olivia caught it between both palms in a clapping motion, stopped it dead, and held it there. Ow, she said mildly. That one actually stung a bit. You good? Zyl'ax dropped to his knees. Oh shit, are you okay? Olivia released the blade and knelt beside him. Did I do it wrong? I can go easier if you need... The readout, Kyldra breathed, staring at her tablet. The molecular edge didn't just fail to cut, it couldn't even detect cutting. The blade's quantum state registered her hands as an impenetrable solid, like striking a neutron star. It's literally just my hands, Olivia said. I moisturize, but not that much. A new voice crackled over the facility's communication system. Commander Kyldra, this is Weapons Analyst J7 from Fleet Engineering. I've been monitoring your sensor feeds. Please confirm, the human blocked a certified monomolecular blade 3 times with 0 tissue damage. Confirmed, Kyldra said. And the blade's edge integrity remained at 100%? Confirmed. Silence. Then, that's... The blade should be cutting through her skeletal structure. Human bones have a compressive strength of approximately 200 megapascals. The blade operates at quantum scales. It doesn't care about material strength. It should cut through anything made of matter. Should being the operative word, Kyldra muttered. Commander, with respect, either your sensors are malfunctioning or we need to reclassify humans as a Class 7 physical anomaly. Olivia raised her hand. Quick question. Is Class 7 good or bad? There is no Class 7, the analyst said. We'd have to create it. For you. So, good? Kyldra made a decision she knew she'd regret. Trainee Smith, I need you to submit to one more test. Hit me, Olivia grinned. Wait, not literally. Well, actually, I guess literally. What's the test? Combat drone. Lowest power setting, projectile impact. You want to shoot me? Technically, we want the drone to shoot you. Olivia shrugged. Okay, but if this leaves a bruise, I'm filing a complaint. The combat drone hovered into position, its targeting laser painting a red dot on Olivia's chest. Kyldra set the power to 5%. Enough to bruise, not enough to break ribs, she hoped. Firing in 3, 2, 1. The projectile shot across the arena at 300 meters per second. It hit Olivia square in the sternum. She rocked back half a step, frowned, and rubbed the spot. Okay, That actually hurt a little. Rude. Every alarm in the facility started screaming simultaneously. Kinetic impact registered. Human damage assessment, superficial bruising. Projectile velocity, 300 meters per second. Projectile mass, 50 grams. Impact force, 4.5 kilonewtons. Human skeletal structure, intact. This is impossible. Updating threat matrices, recommend strategic retreat from human. I'm not a threat, Olivia protested. I literally just stood here. You just took a kinetic projectile that would hospitalize most species and complained it was rude, Kaeldra said faintly. I mean, it was. I wasn't even ready. Kaeldra's tablet erupted with priority alerts. Facility lockdown initiated by Fleet Command. Full diagnostic sweep ordered. Emergency medical teams dispatched. And crowning it all, Weapons Master Genix's ship had accelerated to maximum FTL. He'd arrive in 20 minutes instead of 40. My nephew plays with Nerf guns that hit harder than that, Olivia continued. Actually, one time he got me point blank with a mega dart and I had a welt for like 3 days. Now that was rude. Zyl'ax was still on his knees, staring at nothing. A 300-year career built on understanding weapons and combat, crumbling because a human treated warfare like a children's game. Trainee Smith, Kaeldra said carefully. What exactly is a Nerf gun? Oh, it's like a toy foam dart blaster. Kids use them, super fun. And these toys hit harder than military-grade kinetic projectiles. I mean, probably not, but they definitely hurt more. Maybe it's the foam. It's got a really specific sting to it. Kaeldra pulled up Earth's commercial database, found the product listing, read the specifications, felt her worldview crack. Muzzle velocity, 20 meters per second. Safety rated for ages 8 and up. Warning label, may cause minor discomfort. The human species gave their children weapons and called it play. Commander, the facility AI said, its tone somehow conveying exhaustion. Weapons Master Genix has entered the system. He's requesting immediate direct communication. Put him through. The holographic display flickered to life, showing a massive chromath figure in full military regalia, 800 years old, and decorated with honors from conflicts across the galaxy. Commander Kaeldra, Genix rumbled. I am boarding a shuttle now. Do not allow the human to leave. Do not allow anyone else near the human. And for the sake of all our ancestors, do not let her touch anything else until I arrive. Understood, Weapons Master. One more thing. Genix leaned closer to the camera. Is it true she called my blade not that sharp? Olivia waved at the hologram. I said you might need to sharpen it. That's not an insult. My dad sharpens his kitchen knives all the time. Genix's face went through several colors Kaeldra didn't know chromaths could achieve. 20 minutes, he said, and cut the connection. Olivia looked around the arena. So, are we done training for today, or? We, Kaeldra said, are possibly done training forever. Weapons Master Genix didn't walk into Arena 1. He arrived, like a force of nature, flanked by 4 armed guards, and carrying a case that probably cost more than Kaeldra's annual salary. 800 years of accumulated authority radiated from him as he crossed the floor toward where Olivia sat eating a sandwich. That's him? Olivia asked around a mouthful of something the commissary had promised was human-compatible protein. Stand, Genix commanded. Olivia swallowed, wiped her mouth, and stood. Sir, Trainee Smith reporting. Sorry about the whole sword thing. Genix stopped 3 meters away. His scanning equipment was already active, bathing Olivia in waves of light that made her squint. You are sorry for revealing that our fundamental understanding of material physics may be incorrect? I mean, when you put it like that, it sounds dramatic. Commander Kaeldra's report is accurate? You blocked Instructor Zyl'ax's ceremonial blade? 3 times? Yes, sir. With your bare hands. Yes, sir. And you are unharmed. Completely, sir. Little bruise from the drone thing, but that's fading. Genix set down his case and opened it. Inside, 6 different weapons gleamed against velvet padding. Kaeldra recognized each one: plasma cutter, kinetic hammer, thermal lance, sonic disruptor, graviton blade, and something crystalline she'd only seen in restricted archives. Species unknown combat protocols, Ginix announced. When we encounter a being whose capabilities exceed our understanding, we test across all known physical principles. He pulled out the plasma cutter. This weapon operates at 15,000 degrees Celsius. It melts through starship armor. Cool, Olivia said. Then, wait, not cool. Hot. Very hot. Are you going to... Ginix activated it. The blade screamed to life, white hot and terrible. Block this. He swung. Olivia's hand came up, caught the plasma blade, and deflected it upward. The weapon scorched the air where her face had been. Okay, that one was warm, she said, examining her palm. Like touching a hot pan. Not great, but not terrible. Ginix stared at his weapon, at her hand, back to the weapon. The thermal sensors registered contact at 15,000 degrees. Yeah, it was pretty toasty. For 0.3 seconds. Felt longer, honestly. Ginix dropped the plasma cutter and grabbed the kinetic hammer. This operates on gravitational compression. The impact force equals a collapsing star. That seems excessive for training. He swung. Olivia caught the hammer's head in one hand, grunted slightly, and pushed it aside. Okay, that one actually took some effort, she admitted. Good workout. The weapons master's hands trembled as he retrieved the thermal lance, the sonic disruptor, the graviton blade. One by one he attacked with centuries of skill behind each strike. One by one Olivia blocked, deflected, or caught them. The crystalline weapon, something called a reality shard, designed to cut through dimensional barriers, she actually had to use both hands for. Tricky, she said, holding the shard between her palms. It's got a weird vibration, almost tickles. Ginix sat down heavily on the arena floor. 800 years, he whispered. 800 years of studying weapons, of understanding combat, of knowing how matter interacts with matter. He looked up at Olivia. How? Oh, okay, so... Olivia brightened, clearly happy someone finally asked. I used to work as a fencing instructor. Well, sort of. I ran kids' birthday parties where they got to sword fight with foam swords. But before that, I did actual competitive fencing in college. You learn pretty fast that blocking isn't about being stronger than the weapon. Then what is it about? Kaeldra asked. Timing. And reading your opponent, Olivia demonstrated, moving through a defensive stance. See, you don't watch the blade, you watch the shoulder, the hip, the weight shift. Your body knows the attack is coming before the weapon even moves. Then you just... She made a deflecting motion. Redirect. You're not stopping the force. You're guiding it somewhere else. Zyl'ax had been standing silently against the wall. Now he spoke. That explains prediction, not physics. You touched a monomolecular edge. You caught plasma. Prediction doesn't prevent cellular damage. I mean, Olivia shrugged, maybe your weapons aren't as super as you think. The medical team, which had been monitoring from the sidelines, erupted into argument. Localized reality distortion field, the Vexian doctor insisted. There's no field. The scanners show nothing. Then quantum-locked cellular structure. Her cells are completely normal. Then the weapons are malfunctioning. Ginix's voice cut through the chaos. The weapons function perfectly. I verified each one. The issue is not with the weapons. He looked at Olivia with something approaching fear. The issue is that this being's physical body operates under rules we don't understand. Or, Olivia said, human bodies are just tougher than you expected? Like, I'm not even athletic. My brother does MMA. He's actually scary. I'm just... average? MMA? Kaeldra asked, dreading the answer. Mixed martial arts. It's where you fight people with different fighting styles. Punching, kicking, grappling. Really good cardio, actually. I thought about getting into it, but then I took a knee to the ribs during a trial class and decided teaching kids to poke each other with foam was more my speed. Your species has organized combat for recreation. Well, yeah, and competition. The UFC does huge pay-per-view numbers. Oh, and boxing, that's been around forever. And wrestling, and judo, and karate, and... Stop, Ginnick said weakly. Please stop. Kaeldra's tablet chimed with an incoming priority communication. She glanced down and felt her blood chill. Galactic Military Command. Emergency session convened topic. Human combat capabilities. Your presence required, immediately. She looked up to find a holographic display materializing in the arena's center. 12 high-ranking military officials from across the galaxy stared out at her, at the weapons scattered across the floor, at Olivia, who waved cheerfully. Commander Kaeldra, the Supreme Military Coordinator, said, her Thessian features grave. We've been monitoring your situation. Please confirm for the record. The human-designated Olivia Smith has blocked 17 different lethal strikes with her unaugmented hands and sustained minimal damage. Confirmed, Coordinator. And these strikes included weapons capable of destroying military-grade armor? Confirmed. And the human's explanation for this capability is childhood recreation? Olivia leaned into frame. And college. I took it as an elective. Great way to meet people. The coordinator closed all 4 of her eyes. We are convening an emergency session to discuss whether humans should be classified as weapons themselves under Galactic Accord 17. Ma'am, respectfully, Kaeldra said, Trainee Smith is one person. She may not be representative of... Commander, we accessed Earth's public information networks. Do you know what we found? No, ma'am. Videos, millions of videos, of humans hitting each other. For entertainment, the coordinator's voice shook. They call it sports. They teach it to their children. They have facilities dedicated to it, entire industries built around humans fighting each other with varying levels of protection and increasingly fewer rules. It builds character, Olivia protested. Your species considers organized violence character building? I mean, yeah. How else do you learn to take a hit? Every official on the call went silent. Why, the coordinator asked slowly, would you need to learn to take a hit? Because eventually someone's gonna hit you? That's just life. Ginnick laughed. It was not a happy sound. They're a warrior species, he said. They don't even know they're a warrior species. They think this is normal. It is normal, Olivia insisted. Look, I get that you guys have fancy technology and stuff, but at the end of the day, fighting is just problem solving with your body. You learn the skills, you practice, you get tougher. It's not complicated. Kaeldra watched 800 years of military doctrine crumble in real time across the faces of the galaxy's most experienced commanders. We need, the coordinator said, a full capability assessment of all humans, immediately. Ma'am, humanity has 8 billion individuals. Then start with this one. The coordinator leaned forward. Trainee Smith, would you be willing to undergo comprehensive testing? Sure, Olivia said, but can we break for dinner first? I'm starving, and you guys promised the commissary had tacos on Thursdays. Olivia set down her taco, which the commissary had gotten surprisingly right, and sighed. Okay, look, I think there's been a huge misunderstanding here, and honestly, it's getting kind of frustrating. The emergency session had relocated to Conference Room Prime, where Olivia sat surrounded by the galaxy's top military brass, all attending via hologram. Ginnick and Zyl'ax flanked her in person. Kaeldra stood by the door, wondering if her career could survive this. Please, the coordinator said, explain. You keep acting like I'm some kind of super soldier. I'm not. I'm a 26-year-old who teaches library sciences and used to run birthday parties. What I did today, that's just normal human stuff. Blocking molecular blades is not normal. No, I mean, Olivia stood up. Okay, demonstration time. Ginnick, punch me. The weapons master recoiled. Absolutely not. Why not? Because striking a trainee without cause violates 17 regulations, and I'm giving you permission. Come on, throw a punch. Ginix looked at the coordinator, who nodded slowly. He stood, towering over Olivia by nearly a meter, and threw a careful jab. Olivia slipped it, the fist passing millimeters from her cheek. See? Basic head movement. Now throw a real one. The second punch came faster. Olivia ducked under it, stepped inside his guard, and tapped his chest plate. You telegraph with your shoulder. My nephew does the same thing. He's 7. Your nephew. Yeah, kids learn this stuff early. Olivia moved to the center of the room. Okay, humans start contact sports young, like really young. I played soccer from age 5. That's football to most of the world, not the American kind. You're running, getting knocked down, colliding with other kids. You learn to fall, to get up, to keep going even when your shins are bruised and you're tired. She continued, warming to the topic. Then maybe you do Little League, baseball. You're getting hit by balls, by bats accidentally, learning to catch things flying at your face. Or basketball, where you're constantly fighting for position, taking elbows, giving them back. Hockey, oh man, hockey. I did that for 2 years. You're basically weaponizing yourself on ice. Zyl'ax's translator crackled. You're describing combat training. I'm describing sports, after-school activities. Olivia laughed, but it had an edge now. Then you get older. Maybe you do martial arts, karate, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu. I did fencing, obviously. My brother did wrestling and then MMA. My best friend did boxing. My cousin played rugby. We didn't do this to become warriors. We did it because it was fun, because it kept us healthy, because colleges like well-rounded applicants. You train your children, the coordinator said slowly, in combat techniques for educational advancement. We train our children to be resilient. Olivia's frustration finally broke through. Yeah, we hit each other. Yeah, we learn to take hits. Because life hits you, okay? You fall off bikes. You get in fights on the playground, stupid fights over toys or who's faster or whatever. You play rough with your siblings. You learn that pain is temporary and that your body can take more than you think, and that getting knocked down isn't the end of the world. She pulled up her sleeve, revealing a long scar on her forearm. Field hockey, 9th grade. Sharon Kowalski got me with her stick going for the ball. Hurt like hell. Bled everywhere. You know what I did? Sought medical attention, Ginix offered. Eventually, yeah, but first I stole the ball and scored, because Sharon was a competitive jerk, and I wasn't going to let her win. Olivia grinned at the memory. Still have the scar. Sharon and I are friends now. She's a lawyer. The room was silent. 20 years, Olivia continued. Quieter now. From age 5 to 25, give or take, humans are basically in constant low-level combat training. We don't call it that. We call it growing up. By the time we're adults, we've taken thousands of hits, fallen hundreds of times, learned to read body language, predict movement, react without thinking. It's called muscle memory, reflex training. It's not magic, it's just repetition. She demonstrated proper fencing footwork, advance, retreat, lunge. Her body moved with practiced efficiency. This is what, 15 years of training? And I'm not even that good. I placed 3rd in my college tournament. 3rd out of like 30 people. My brother did MMA for 12 years. He's actually scary. He can grapple someone twice his size. I watched him choke out a guy who outweighed him by 80 pounds. For recreation, Zyl'ax said numbly. For a trophy. And bragging rights. Ginix pulled up something on his datapad. I'm looking at your species' popular sports now. American football, players wear armor and deliberately collide at high speeds. Ice hockey, armed combat on frozen water. Rugby, football without the armor. Boxing, hitting each other until someone cannot continue. Mixed martial arts. He stopped. It's all of them, combined, fewer rules. And millions of people do it, Olivia said. Billions watch it. We have professional leagues, childhood leagues, college scholarships for being good at hitting people with balls or sticks or your fists. It's cultural. It's normal. The coordinator spoke, her voice carefully controlled. Your species' concept of peaceful development includes mandatory physical conflict training. It's not mandatory, it's just really common and encouraged. Builds character, like I said, teaches teamwork, discipline, pain tolerance. Pain tolerance, Ginix interrupted. You specifically train to tolerate pain. Well, yeah. How else do you learn your limits? Kaldra watched understanding dawn across every face in the room. Humanity wasn't a peaceful species pretending to be warriors. They were warriors pretending to be peaceful. They'd wrapped their combat training in games and sports and recreation, made it fun, made it social, and spent their entire developmental period doing it. Trainee Smith, the coordinator said, how many humans would you estimate have your level of combat capability? Olivia shrugged. I mean, most. Anyone who played sports or did martial arts or just had siblings and got into fights. So, most people? I'm really not special. Your brother, the MMA fighter. How common are humans like him? There are thousands of professional MMA fighters, tens of thousands of amateurs, millions who train casually, and that's just MMA. Boxing has even more. Then there's all the people who did wrestling or judo or... Stop, the coordinator said. Please. An officer Kaldra didn't recognize spoke up. We need to revise Earth's threat classification. Immediately. They're not a threat, Olivia protested. We're peaceful. We haven't had a major war in decades. You haven't had a major war because you channel your combat instincts into sport, Ginix said. He looked at his calculations. Your species is naturally aggressive, physically resilient, and culturally predisposed to combat training from childhood. You've simply domesticated yourselves. That's not, Olivia paused. Okay, when you put it like that, it sounds bad. It's not bad, Kaldra said quietly. It's terrifying. Can I please just finish basic training? Olivia asked. I didn't come here to break your military science. I just wanted to pass the academy and get a boring admin position somewhere. The coordinator and Ginix exchanged glances. Trainee Smith, the coordinator said, we're not going to let you take an administrative position. Olivia's face fell. I'm kicked out. No, we're evaluating you for an instructor position. Someone needs to teach us how humans fight, and more importantly, the coordinator leaned forward. How to train our forces to survive if they ever have to fight humans. Zyl'ax stood abruptly. With respect, coordinator, I formally request retirement. Request denied. You're going to help her. I've spent 300 years. And now you'll spend a few more learning that everything you knew was based on species that don't train their children to be warriors. The coordinator's tone softened. We need you, instructor. All of you, because if humanity ever stops being peaceful. She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't need to. 3 weeks later, the Galactic Military Academy looked different. An entire wing had been retrofitted and relabeled. Human Combat Baseline Facility. Authorized personnel only. Every weapons testing protocol now included a new line item, human deflection factor. And most significantly, there was a new position on the faculty roster. Cultural Combat Liaison, Olivia Smith. So this is called a boxing match, Olivia explained to a room full of horrified military strategists. On the screen behind her, 2 humans circled each other in a ring, then began exchanging blows. Notice how they're both smiling? That's because they chose to do this. For fun, a Vexian analyst raised a trembling hand. The protective equipment, it's minimal. Yeah, just gloves and a mouthguard mostly. Sometimes headgear, but not always. The goal is to hit each other until someone can't continue or the time runs out. And civilians watch this? Sold-out arenas. Pay-per-view deals worth millions. It's huge. Olivia clicked to the next slide. Now this is rugby. It's like football, the American kind, but without pads. You just tackle each other. That's barbaric, someone whispered. That's Wednesday afternoon at most high schools. Olivia grinned. Oh, you want to see barbaric? Check this out. This is called the UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship. The video showed two humans grappling, striking, the crowd roaring. Within 30 seconds, half the analysts had left the room. Within a minute, someone had flagged the video as weapons research material. It's not weapons research, Olivia protested. It's sports entertainment. Gnix, who'd been forced to attend, made a note on his pad, classifying it as weapons research regardless. For safety. You guys are so dramatic. Another analyst spoke up, voice shaking. Ms. Smith, are there other activities like this? Oh, tons. There's wrestling, kickboxing, judo, karate, taekwondo, Krav Maga, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Stop listing them. Hockey, lacrosse, paintball, airsoft. What? Keldra asked from the back of the room. Is paintball? Olivia's face lit up. Oh, it's great. You get these markers, guns that shoot paint-filled gelatin balls, and you split into teams and basically hunt each other through obstacle courses. Last team standing wins. The room went deathly silent. You shoot each other, Gnix said slowly, with projectiles. For enjoyment. Well, yeah, it builds teamwork, communication skills, tactical thinking. It's a great bonding activity. I did my friend's bachelor party at a paintball place. Super fun, though I had bruises for a week. Your species, the Vexian analyst said faintly, shoots each other at celebration events. Not with real bullets. That's not better. The emergency council session had been going for 4 hours. On the main screen, Earth's application to join the Galactic Military as a full member, species hung in digital limbo. The assessment had been updated 17 times in the past 3 weeks. Original assessment, peaceful species, high administrative potential, recommended for logistics and support roles. Revised assessment, species engages in lifelong combat conditioning disguised as recreational activity. Recommend immediate reclassification. Current status, under review. The question before us, the coordinator said tiredly, is whether humanity is too dangerous to accept or too valuable to refuse. They're warriors who don't know they're warriors, one admiral argued. That makes them unpredictable. They're warriors who've learned to channel aggression into non-lethal competition, another countered. That makes them evolved. Have you seen their history? A third officer pulled up Earth's data. They've had wars continuously for their entire recorded civilization, thousands of them. From her seat in the observation gallery, Olivia leaned toward the microphone Keldra had reluctantly provided. I mean, we did have a lot of wars, but we're past that now. We've been mostly peaceful for like 70 years. 70 years? That's very recent, the coordinator said carefully. And mostly peaceful? Gnix asked. Well, there are still some regional conflicts, but nothing major. No world wars or anything. How many world wars did you have? 2. Well, 2 big ones. There were a bunch of other wars between them and after, but how many total? Olivia pulled up her phone, searched quickly. Wikipedia lists about 250 major conflicts in the 20th century alone, but that seems high. Maybe they're counting 250. The admiral who'd been arguing against acceptance looked vindicated. In 1 century, while developing space travel. They were fighting each other while reaching for the stars. I mean, when you put it like that, how else should we put it? Zyl'ax, who'd been silently attending, finally spoke. Perhaps we're asking the wrong question. Not whether humanity is dangerous, they clearly are, but whether we want them as allies or potential adversaries. The room fell silent. The instructor makes a point, the coordinator said. Humanity is already here. already applying, already demonstrating capabilities we don't fully understand. We can accept them and learn from them, or refuse them and wonder what they'll do next. I vote accept, Ginix said, with extensive oversight and specialized training protocols. Seconded, Kaeldra added. They're dangerous, yes, but we need to understand them, and better they're inside our system than outside it. The vote wasn't unanimous, but it was decisive. Very well, the coordinator announced. Humanity's application is approved. Conditional status, subject to comprehensive cultural integration training. She looked at Olivia. Which you'll be leading, Mrs. Smith. Olivia grinned. Awesome, I've got a whole presentation on dodgeball ready to go. What's dodgeball? It's where you throw balls at each other until... Application almost approved, Ginix interrupted. Let's not give them reasons to reconsider. The next morning, Olivia checked her schedule on her datapad while walking through the academy's main corridor. Okay, so tactical assessment at 0900, cultural integration seminar at 1400, and... Oh, advanced combat theory? Cool. Kaeldra, walking beside her, looked nervous. About the tactical assessment, we're still designing appropriate tests. Human-rated challenges are difficult to calibrate. Just throw whatever you've got at me, I'm sure it'll be fine. 3 passing instructors immediately changed direction. That's the 4th time today, Olivia noted. People keep avoiding me. You did demonstrate that plasma weapons can't hurt you. They hurt a little. They passed a security scanner. Its display lit up immediately. Biological hazard. Detected. Do not engage. Maintain safe distance. Recommend strategic withdrawal. Olivia rolled her eyes. Yeah, I get it. She tapped the scanner console. Can someone please update these? I'm not actually dangerous. The scanner's warnings intensified. Somewhere in the administrative offices Kaeldra knew, 18 different commanders were simultaneously drafting sick leave requests for the tactical assessment. Ginix had already submitted his. Zyl'ax was considering faking his own death. You know what? Olivia said, stretching as they walked. I'm kind of excited. The tests here have been pretty easy so far. Maybe today I'll actually get a workout. Behind them, an ensign who'd overheard dropped his datapad and sprinted for the nearest exit. Kaeldra sighed. It was going to be a long assignment, but looking at Olivia, cheerful, oblivious, casually terrifying, she couldn't help but think that maybe, just maybe, humanity was exactly what the Galactic Military needed, even if they'd never admit it. Even if the scanners never stopped screaming. Hey, Commander, Olivia asked. After the assessment, want to grab lunch? I heard the commissary finally got actual pizza. Well, their version of it. Probably won't have real mozzarella, but that sounds lovely, trainee, Kaeldra caught herself. Instructor Smith. Just call me Olivia, she grinned. We're colleagues now, right? Right, Kaeldra said weakly. Somewhere in the facility, alarms continued their perpetual warning. Somewhere, military protocols were being rewritten. Somewhere, the galaxy was adjusting to the reality that humanity had arrived. And Olivia Smith, former fencing instructor for children's birthday parties, walked toward her next class completely unaware that she'd changed the course of galactic history. Or maybe she knew. Maybe she just didn't think it was that big a deal. After all, it was just blocking a few swords. The end.